You're not recording?
It's recording now. All right, we're in the van. We just saw Star Wars The Last Jedi, and this is what we think about it.
Her name was Maz
Kanata. Yeah, that was a weird Maz Kanata scene for sure. She's like, I thought for sure that was going to be Lando Calrissian. Like, I was like, that's rad. It's
the Codebreaker.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian is going to be the Codebreaker. Instead, it's just like some dude we've never seen before.
I mean, that was really like...
what a lost opportunity there.
That was kind of highlighted a lot of the problems with the movie, though, right? Where you had stuff like Master Codebreaker.
Yeah.
You know, there's like no nuance to anybody's name or identity.
No, it's like this guy's name is Master Codebreaker.
It's like...
Yeah, it's like, seriously, man.
Vice Admiral.
That's the problem. The characters...
Did you guys notice she was the girl from Jurassic Park?
Yeah,
the first one?
Laura Dern.
That was the Jurassic Park.
She's a good actress. I thought she just kind of got a dumb part.
She got a bad role, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of good actors in there. They just got shallow parts. I mean, like Laura, her character was just cardboard thin. Like,
no, she's completely one-dimensional.
Just kidding. She's really a hero. You know, come on.
Yeah, they're like, you don't know if she's a good guy or a bad guy.
I mean, you never think she's a bad guy, but they make it a little too obvious that she's like some ignorant moron.
Yeah, I mean, even Poe was kind of annoying, though. I mean, he did get all those B-1 bombers like destroyed.
Right.
You know?
He didn't seem to care.
Yeah, and he was we just took down a dreadnought. So what if we lost our entire B-1 bomber fleet? So, I'm like, seriously?
There's multiple dreadnoughts.
Yeah,
but you just lost Air Force.
You just lost your entire bombing fleet to take down one of them. Like, that was just beyond stupid.
That didn't seem to fit.
Here's the problem that I have with these movies is the core concept and ideology and everything about the movie is merchandise. What can we sell and how much money can we make? At least with the, like, obviously the original trilogy and the... No, I'm not done. Okay. And the prequels... George...
I'll let you finish.
No. George Lucas clearly was trying to at least tell, like, a strong story. But that's not in these movies. Dude, these movies are just the most phoned-in stories. Like, they're Mad Libs. Like, seriously. And it's, and the exposition. It's so bad.
Yeah, but you have to separate two things. So, of course, Disney is trying to make money and they want to sell merchandise. But they also give control over to a director who is a creative artist. Rian Johnson has made good movies in the past. Looper was a good movie. I think he tried as hard as he wrote and directed this movie. I think he tried. Of course, I think he got some notes from Disney on maybe things they would like to see in there, but...
No way. There's nobody directing Star Wars that has creative control over it. No way.
I'm not saying 100% creative control, but I wouldn't be as cynical as that it's all just a merchandise grab. I think they tried to make a good movie, and they just failed in a lot of places. Yeah,
I mean, the new fans I know will love it. Like, the new Star Wars fanboys, they'll love it. All those, like, one-liners and all those quips and everything, the fanboys are going to love that stuff. They're going to eat it up. But what people don't understand is that's not the way Star Wars characters talk. Like, when Poe is parked out in front of that Star Destroyer, and he's, like, having all these one-liners and banter with, like, the bridge commander, you know... that's not Star Wars. I mean, what I saw, like, even like Luke Skywalker, that was Mark Hamill playing like a cool character, but that wasn't Luke Skywalker.
No, it was not Luke Skywalker.
No way.
No resemblance of Luke Skywalker, any of his personality.
Well, this is the thing that bothers me that I dislike so much about the movie. It's not Rey's story even. It's not Rey's story because Rey is not a flawed character. She has no character flaw. She has no character arc. There's nothing that she needs to overcome. She's already arrived. She's already actualized. But Luke, who's been through, all these movies already, Luke still has all these character flaws. Luke still hasn't learned his lesson. They made it so Luke still is the one that has to overcome. And I'm going, what is this? And Rey goes to Luke and teaches him.
Yeah.
He doesn't learn it. She doesn't learn anything from Luke. He has to learn from her. They're like, who wrote this? They're like, you know what we need to do? We need to teach Luke another lesson. And we need to have him learn that lesson from Rey. Like, Rey is so unrelatable at this point now because, like, there is no hero's journey as far as she's concerned. And all the characters that have had some sort of journey to follow, they kill them all. You know, like Luke is dead. And he doesn't even make any sense why he died.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest problems I had with the movie is around that same line, where you have Rey, and at no point would you ever believe that she's going to turn to the dark side, right? Like,
yeah, no, I was never.
Part of the entire premise of the movie was built on the idea that maybe Rey might turn to the dark side.
Yeah, but yeah,
right. And this was also Luke's journey, of course.
Yeah, like that was the original trilogy. Can Luke resist the dark side? You know, and
but Luke had real temptation tied to the dark side, right? He had his actual father as Darth Vader. What does Rey have? Like, she's kind of friends with Ben or feel sorry for him. You know, there's no like force there that's like, oh, she might flip to the dark side. There's nothing at all.
And the whole thing was like in Empire, like Yoda thought Luke was reckless because he wanted to go face Vader prematurely because of his attachment to his friends. And so that was his that was one of his character flaws. He didn't complete his training because of his attachment to his friends, but then he learned that when he went, even though he failed on that mission, when those three friends stay together, they can overcome anything and they can defeat the Empire. And
well, isn't that kind of the same story they're trying to tell?
Right?
Because Rey's being reckless, and you still have three friends.
I guess she's reckless. I don't really know how. But I mean, I guess
didn't really go her way for the most part.
I guess because she was like kind of deceived by Snoke, but she ended up defeating him anyway. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like
I mean, the other thing is I don't like the tone it ended on, right? Because it's a parallel to Empire where the Empire's winning, right? At the end of Empire, things are looking bleak, but it feels dark at the end of Empire Strikes Back. You know, like it doesn't end in a good place. Whereas this one, you still don't feel like there's. Here's the other thing: you don't feel any loss. At the beginning, you have all these rebels. At the end, everybody fits in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
and there seems to be no sense of loss. Like, isn't this sad? Everyone's dead except for these few people.
Yeah.
It's like, we're the spark. No. Everything's fine.
Yeah, literally, you had more rebels die in this movie than any Star Wars movie ever. Because the entire force is dead now, except for enough people, like you said, enough people to fit in the Millennium Falcon.
And nobody seems to care.
I didn't care at all.
And no one seems to be that worried.
No. Because, like, there's no point in that movie where I was ever worried, like, oh, this is going to be it. They're going to do Rey in here.
No.
Never. That's why Luke actually has a character arc in the movie. Because you actually go, whoa, are they going to kill Luke in this movie? Like, I was curious about that the whole time. That was a real concern, and then he ends up that they do kill him. He ends up dying, you know, and then you're like, dang, Luke's dead. But never in my mind was I the least bit worried like that Rey was going to die.
And you thought all the tension was with the original characters.
You
thought Leia was going to die. I thought she was going to die. That was the biggest surprise of the movie, actually.
That's the biggest problem with this trilogy. It has, now that once they've killed off all the original characters, the movie has this franchise has no legs to stand on.
Doesn't really have a soul with that.
There's no soul because there is no tension with any of the other characters. They tried hard with Poe. They tried hard to give him some tension, like, well, we're going to make Poe the reckless, shoot him up guy. But it was just like we said, it got to the point of ridiculous where you're just like, where I was like, I don't know if Poe's an asshole or if he's a hero.
Or just really dumb.
Or just because
he's like your stereotypical meathead, basically.
Exactly. That's exactly what he is.
He said, he's like, what did he say? Like, get in my ship and go blow something up.
And let's just go blow something up.
Yeah, you know, that sums up his entire character, really, that line.
It's on, Chrome Dome.
I loved his intro, though, when he was, like, taking out all this stuff. I like the idea of this badass, like, Black Ops, like, status pilot.
Yeah.
Non-force using pilot who's, like, kicking ass, you know? But then it was like, and then it dropped off from there. He's, like, doing these amazing maneuvers, and then it, like, drops off. He's like, well, we're gonna kill the dreadnought. Like,
Yeah, and it was almost like, okay, part of the reason why, I mean, he was supposed to be kind of like Han Solo, but the reason why the dynamic between Leia and Han worked in the original trilogy is because Han never became Leia's bitch.
No.
Like, he was always uncontrollable to a large degree. And so they were both strong enough characters that there was like a tug and a pull between the two of them all the time. And it was like they tried to recreate that dynamic with Poe and Leia, but when it came down to it, Leia just like put Poe right in his place, and that was it.
Yeah,
End of story.
But, I mean, they weren't supposed to be equals. I think there was supposed to be more of like a motherly son type relationship than what Han and...
Yeah, they were trying to make it more motherly son. And that's probably part of the reason why, like, the tension, there just wasn't the same tension there. Because it's like that... I don't know. I didn't feel like the right pull from that relationship.
How about this? What did you like about the movie?
Well, there's one more thing though that we got to bring up, and that is that after all that, we still don't know where the hell Snoke came from.
well, I'll tell you what, though. We know where blue milk comes from now. The show does.
Dude, I wanted to milk one of those things. I was like, dude, get me down on some of that milk. That looks good.
There was a lot of random stuff.
That was the biggest reveal of the movie. This is where blue milk comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What they say.
and he goes up and he like milks the teat of that like these like, which is weird because it's like, why are these like things just chilling out on this
like
island
this-
in the middle of the ocean
Well, it
in the
seems
middle
like
of nowhere?
everything there was set up for the Jedi.
Totally was,
to, you
yeah.
know, to do whatever. But, I mean, really, it's a Star Wars movie, you think, I want to spend 2.5 hours in this. But I came away from that movie thinking, you know, they could have easily cut off 30, 40 minutes of that movie and have lost nothing.
100%. Like the way they were switching, they had 3 story arcs going at the same time,
Yeah,
and the way they kept jumping was starting to drive me crazy by the end.
And I really didn't care about the Finn story arc at all. I mean, I actually didn't really care about anyone's story arc except for
Luke's.
Rey and Luke. I was interested
That's
in the
it.
relationship.
That's all I was interested in was Rey and Luke, and all the tension was a result of Luke. I thought it was cool that they had Snoke do like that deception, you know, like the Force deception, because I was curious. Like, that was a curious point. How are these? What's the deal? Why are they connecting? What's the relationship here? And then when you find out that it was Snoke connecting them the whole time, I was like, oh, that's badass.
It was cool,
You know?
followed up by something stupid where Snoke is really powerful. He can basically control everything with his mind, and then for some reason he like, even though he's like in Kylo's brain, he can't figure out that he's about to kill him.
That his lightsaber's right there. Like, he makes a rookie error and just gets
Cut in half.
cut in half like that. That was a problem.
That
Yeah.
Well, here's one of my first thoughts. Like, maybe he'll heal himself because he's Darth Plagueis. No,
Yeah.
not at all. He's dead.
he was gone, man.
Dude,
Like,
and
that
they
was
never.
it.
That's what bothers me so much too. Is they never told me who he was.
Yeah, or like
Ever!
where
Where he came
because that
from.
was part of the questions from the original trilogy. Is the whole time you only see him as like a hologram, and so I was like, what is he? Is he Darth Plagueis? Is he like some sort of a Sith artifact, like a holocron that they uncovered and then brought the knowledge
would've been
back?
cool.
Like, any of those things would have been cool. Instead, it's just like, no, there's just this like Sith Lord, and we don't know. Like,
He's
is
here.
he from the lineage of Bane? Is he from another Sith lineage that maybe we didn't know about? I mean,
They like doing scenes that were almost like word for word from Empire, and then turning something like funny out of it, where he's making Rey watch the destruction of the rebels, talking about there is no hope, like almost the exact same scene
yeah.
with Luke and the Emperor, and then she goes for the lightsaber like Luke did, and instead of something cool like Darth Vader just casually blocking it, they just do like, it boomerangs and hits her in the head. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I one thing I liked that Luke Skywalker battle at the end.
Yeah.
I thought that was
that was cool.
and
I
that was so
surprised by his
badass.
death because of, I thought it was badass too. And he's like,
Dude.
see you around, kid, or whatever he
Yeah,
says.
and I was like, and that was like, I was in the moment where I was like, yes, that's Luke Skywalker. That's the guy that freaking like on foot, like shot a harpoon up into a AT-AT walker and then took the thing out with his lightsaber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And the whole way, like the whole time they revealed that he's like meditating on a rock the whole time. I was like, that is awesome. And then he dies, and he just like all of a sudden just kills him, like just goes Force Ghost on us, and I'm like, why? It was like the only character in this whole movie that's got any conflict in him, and then they take him out of it. What is there to watch in the new one? Like nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. And we know that Carrie Fisher's not going to be in it because she's dead.
Yeah,
It's true.
well, she will be CGI.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to
I mean,
CGI her in or something.
I'm sure they'll kill her in like the first scene.
First scene of the next one or something.
Or whatever.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
it's true. I mean, all of the original cast is gone, and what's left is not that interesting.
it's just a shell now. Yeah, it's just these really shallow characters. It's like don't they read all those screenwriting books? These guys were like, they're like, yeah, you develop a character, you got to have a character flaw. The character has to try to overcome that character flaw. Like, man, I don't know. Other stuff that was cool in that movie though. Yeah, okay, this wasn't cool, but this is another major plot hole, was how in the hell did that master locksmith even know that they had left the mothership and were sneaking off to the planet? Like, where did he get that knowledge from? He wasn't in communication with the rebel base. Finn was, you know?
Well, they never told Finn either.
And they never told Finn, like, how did he know any of that?
He's just the smartest guy in the room, I guess.
He must have been. And then, is Phasma dead?
Yeah.
I'm sure she's not.
There's no way
they're gonna
she's
bring
dead.
her back.
I guarantee you, there's no way.
I
Yeah.
totally disagree. I think she's dead.
Because it was a big deal that they revealed part of her face, and I don't think she's dead.
She's dead.
I love the Chrome Dome line, even though that's so un-Star Wars. It made me laugh.
Don't choke on your aspirations.
Okay, I cannot. Yeah, I can't
That was
stomach
the
that
worst
one.
ever.
Yeah. I mean,
She's probably dead, but I could easily see her coming
I don't
back
know,
for
she's-
whatever reason. Oh, she's not dead.
I think they at least realized she was a character that they hyped way too much. Never panned out in The Force Awakens. Didn't do much this one. I think she's gone.
That character was such a lost opportunity, though. She's got a badass.
She was.
She's got a badass uniform. She's got freaking cool
She could have
armor.
been like a Boba Fett 2.0.
Dude,
or
she
something.
100%. And I was really hoping to see some IG-88s in that movie. I thought for sure there'd be some IG-88s.
It's IG-88.
The assassination droids.
Oh, yeah,
And Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Because I thought they're for sure going to do a bunch of homages to Empire, and they did. We got the AT-AT, Hoth scene. We got the opening scene was the same. We got the transporters, the personnel transporters. But I thought for sure, because there's a bounty hunter scene in where Zutkus and Dengar, Boba Fett made his appearance, IG-88, they're all meeting with Vader on the bridge, and Vader's like, yeah, bring me Han, whatever. I was like, dude, it would be rad, because those are assassination droids, and there's like a lot of cool stuff about them in the Star Wars like cartoon ones, and so I was like, oh, that'd be sick if there's some IG-88 stuff. There wasn't.
I mean, the one scene, the moment, I should say, that actually was one of the cooler moments, I thought, in all of the Star Wars movies, when the AT-AT stopped firing and Luke is standing there and he just gives a little, brush.
Oh, dude, yes!
robe.
That was so rad!
That was awesome.
That was one thing, that was like I was the most happiest during that part of the movie. 100%.
Yeah, when Luke was being a badass, that was pretty cool.
absolutely.
And then he just disappeared for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason he just dies.
He sees the binary sunset and he's like, no, that's it.
See, I thought for sure they were gonna kill Leia in this movie,
Of course.
because she can't reprise her role anymore. So I thought for sure she was gonna die, and that we'd at least get Luke a cameo or something in the last one. Some definite resolution to his story arc. And I don't feel like I got a full resolution. That's the biggest problem with both Luke and Han's deaths, is that it's you
They're
didn't.
meaningless.
Yeah, it was they were both meaningless, and it's not like you had this great resolve of okay, that was a great resolve for that character, and I'm at peace with
Yeah,
with what they did.
In hindsight, they shouldn't have brought them back, because really the consequence of what happened was they had to devote so much time to the original cast without it really going anywhere. That's all the time wasted to make Rey a more interesting character, or Finn a more interesting character. You just have half of every movie kind of wasted in some way on these people that die for I don't know what reason. But
that's a good point.
I mean, I still like Rey. That's the thing, is like I still think she's interesting, and I like enjoy watching her scenes. But I wish they would.
I absolutely don't.
I mean, I wish they would give it, some kind of conflict, because right now it's, again, with everything being consequence free, and maybe this is a direct result of the Disney way of making movies, where everyone comes out feeling rosy, even though tons of people died. Terrible deaths without anyone mourning them or caring, really.
Yeah.
Everything feels inevitable in a way that, although the original trilogy did feel inevitable, like you never, I guess, truly thought that Darth Vader would win, it was still compelling in everything that was going to happen, and I just don't feel the same way with this. You just know, I'm sure Finn, Rey, and Poe will all make it out fine, and everything will be hunky-dory in the end.
Of course. I mean,
because again, people die, no one seems to care. So you don't feel anything.
Well, then, like, maybe it's trying to be like, oh, Finn's going to sacrifice himself.
Well, that's kind of where all the... Yeah, I knew Finn wasn't going to die. Like, that's kind of where all the tension is in the original cast, and there's really no tension around the new characters, because none of them are going to die, because they got to finish the trilogy with them, So yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest problems with this whole franchise right now. But yeah, I mean,
it just has no soul.
Well, okay, I mean, and the fact that they hired J.J. Abrams to do the third one basically means there's no chance of anything compelling or interesting happening.
That's true.
I mean, J.J. Abrams, he's good in his lane, I guess, which is just kind of being a shepherd, some kind of usher for some really high IP. But he never really does anything like truly original or unique.
No, I don't really...
in the types of stuff he directs.
I really don't like his style of storytelling where the way he likes to tell stories, he likes to open up all these mysteries, but he's really good at creating them, but he's really bad at coming up with any kind of resolution or any kind of payoff. And he's done that in most everything he's made. He seems to do that. He repeats that over and over again,
and they're stopping at a trilogy for this storyline, is that right?
Yeah. So this is supposed to be...
I don't know.
I don't know.
What is there to resolve?
Exactly.
That's what I don't understand.
Left to resolve? Like, Kylo just needs to either, finally give in to, the light or die. I mean, that's basically all. And again, it's the exact same story that we already got with Darth Vader.
It's the exact same story, yeah. Because it's like...
Tell something different.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I like the idea of The Last Jedi and that the Jedi Order needs to end. Like, I agree with that. Like, I'm totally down with it. The Jedi Order's flawed. That as long as you have Jedi, Sith are going to exist. As long as Luke refused to train Jedi initially and started up the Jedi Order again, there was a balance to the Force and there was no problem. Then as soon as you brought on Apprentice, started training up the Jedi again, started reinstating the Order, the Sith starts showing up. Like, I like that whole concept. I'm like, that's great. But I feel like they didn't fully delve into that deep enough as I was hoping. They didn't fully explain that, They just kind of... you got a couple scenes here and there.
Too, a lot of that explanation you just gave was just from you reading theories and backgrounds. Wasn't on the screen.
No, it wasn't on the screen.
Get that from the screen.
It's because
I don't even really remember what he said about why the Jedi needs to end.
Well, so
because I thought the point he was just making was like there is no Jedi. There's just the Force.
Well, yeah. Well, the reason what he sort of said was he said. And this is another problem, is that in filmmaking and stuff, they always say show, don't tell. So anytime you have a character that's telling a bunch of things that happened in the past to move the plot forward,
it's called exposition.
Yeah, it's considered not good for movies. You want to show as much as you can to move the thing forward. And there's a lot of moments where there's a lot of telling. And there's a part where Luke has to tell. Like, and Kylo Ren has to tell what happened in the temple, what happened to the Jedi Luke trained, and all that stuff. And it was basically like what Luke said in the movie. He said, like, the Force was balanced and there was peace. And then I saw the power in my nephew. And so I wanted to train him to pass on my knowledge. And I took on 12 more apprentices and I reestablished a Jedi temple.
What happened to those guys, by the way?
I think he said like a certain number of them followed Kylo Ren and the rest of them were killed.
They were the red guys.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure because they don't confirm that.
They
I'm
don't
just
confirm
assuming because he says he brought back a handful of
I know.
other Jedi.
I would guess.
I'm guessing that's what happened to him, but they don't actually tell you that.
Yeah, but the Emperor's guards, like in the original trilogy, they weren't like Jedi or Sith or anything.
They were Force sensitive.
They were Force sensitive, yeah.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, they were Force sensitive, but they weren't fully trained. And, I mean, I loved the fight between the Red Guards. That was one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, I still thought it was a cool moment when Rey catches the saber and
then
fight in that chamber,
and she and Kylo Ren are fighting back to back. I was like, yes.
Cool.
And then once again, it was like, come up with something creative now to move.
Same Vader line.
And then it goes right back to the same Vader line. Join me, and we'll rule together. And I'm like, come on, come up with something more creative. Let's make Rey start going bad, or make do something different now.
Well, the guy I don't know. Like, I know so much of like, well, let's splice some of Return of the Jedi with The Empire Strikes Back. We'll have the elevator scene where he's like, there is some good in you. Like,
yeah, they did have the elevator scene.
You're mistaken. Like, she turns herself in.
Yeah.
And I was mistaken, too. The part where the Emperor's showing Luke the destruction of the fleet. That is from the last...
That was from Jedi. That was straight out of Jedi.
But still, same exact scene.
Yeah, same exact scene.
Oh, yeah, same.
With a little comedy twist.
Oh, yeah, dude. There is no moments where, like, it just let the gravity of what has happened, like, sit in with you. Like...
Well... In their defense, Rey doesn't have many problems with gravity.
No, she doesn't. Oh, with these rocks. I'm like, that was the thing that was too so compelling. Like about like Empire Strikes Back is you're seeing Luke Skywalker learn how to.
Did you let that one out, Liam? Whoa, that was nasty, dude. No, that kid, man, he can deal it.
Strikes Back.
He can deal those farts. He can deal those farts.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Jedi Force powers in those parts, man.
He just cleared out the car.
Force is strong with this one.
Yeah. But
why were we gonna go with the broom kid? Who's like using the Force to pull it? And I'm like, well, okay, I guess everybody can use the Force now.
Actually, I didn't mind that so much.
I think they're just trying to show that
thought it would have been
there's
cooler
hope still,
if
or
they
something.
left out like the Cracker Jack box ring.
Yeah.
In the end there.
Yeah, same here.
What was those rings? What was that?
She like spun it too, and it like opened.
I mean, didn't it not look like it came out of a Cracker Jack box or something?
Yeah, totally, man.
A piece of crap ring.
Oh boy.
I'm sure they will be selling those.
100%.
But I thought that was a cool concept until he had the ring. Actually,
we could all get rings like that. We could just show up, and show that we're rebels.
Yeah.
See, I'm a Sith though, so I wouldn't want one of those. After I read, that's the reason why I know about all this stuff. Though I do know more about why you got to end the Jedi because I've read Darth Bane: Path of Destruction, all three volumes, and all this other stuff. And
but let's be honest though. All the extended universe, even the Darth Plagueis book, clearly none of that is canon now.
No, it's all obsolete.
You had to throw it all out.
Yeah, it's all obsolete. So, but they still are taking ideas and stuff that were put into those books and using the. I think they're trying to take the good ideas that were in those books and use them still. I don't,
No, not really though. Like,
yeah.
Like it's time for the Jedi to end, but like what Seth says, like if you haven't read those books. They don't add anything. They don't tell you why at all.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool too if they would have like brought in like the Sith holocrons into the movie, or in some other things like that. You know,
how about we finally see like, well, actually, they don't say it's the original Jedi Temple, but we finally see like an actual Jedi Temple, and there's like 5 books. Like, that's it? In a tree? And then there's a pit of despair below there, too? I'm like, why would the Jedi Temple be right there?
Yeah, but I actually thought that was fine, because there were a few points that they made that I thought were good. Like, where there's great light, there's great darkness, okay? So if you have this island with this great light, force, Jedi, whatever. There's probably great darkness there.
Yeah, totally.
I'm fine with that.
I'm down with that.
I like what Snoke said. That said, like, because Kylo Ren rose, I knew there would be a great light that would rise as well. And that actually explained Rey pretty well.
Yep. Exactly, 100%.
But they never, like, took it and ran with it. They just all of a sudden, fumbled the ball and went down some other path after each one of those points. I thought the Yoda stuff was fine, actually. I didn't mind the whole... Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, the Yoda stuff didn't bother me that... I didn't mind seeing Yoda again. You know that Yoda was... they used the puppet. That wasn't 100%.
Yeah, I could tell that was the puppet.
Yeah, and so
cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I think that... I didn't look on the credits. I'm pretty sure that was Frank Oz.
Yeah, Frank Oz.
Frank Oz reprised Yoda. I'm all down with that. The only thing I didn't like about it was like... Okay, like, Luke hasn't... the way Yoda was talking to Luke, it's like, dude, Luke is like, now I've seen the movie, hours away from his death, and like, he hasn't progressed since like he was on Dagobah.
And you didn't get any impression that like Yoda was trying to tell him that he needed to die or anything.
No, none whatsoever.
I still don't understand it.
Yeah, seriously, it was like, Yoda was just like, yeah, it's okay if you want to end the Jedi Order now, that's fine. But yeah, you had no impression that Yoda's like, yes, Luke, you need to die. Instead, he called him young Luke.
Why?
Well, yeah, like
if he was going to die, why did he? Why wasn't he just there in person fighting Kylo Ren and then died?
Yeah, that's another good point. It makes no sense.
I mean, yeah, okay, fine. Maybe he didn't have a ship, but then they clearly showed that his X-wing was just sitting there. In the
underwater,
water.
yeah.
So it seemed plausible that he could just
lift it up with one hand, man.
Go and I don't know. It was a weird choice. I get that they're trying to fake you out, but they went through like way too many hoops that they needed to do.
Well, that was why I hated Yoda in that movie, because it's not that I had a problem with Yoda showing up. I have especially as a ghost, but like I have a problem with like he's showing up there because Luke sucks. Like
that was true.
I think he was
That's a good point.
Up to tell Luke too that not that he sucks, but like, look, you're being stubborn again. Go help Rey. But he never helped Rey.
No,
right?
No, he never helped Leia.
Teach her anything.
He went there to help Leia.
He was just trying to help the rebels escape, like buy them some time.
No,
it was ultimately like he went to help his sister,
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know why wouldn't Yoda help him make that why wouldn't Yoda make that connection already? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I was hoping she was a Yoda love child.
No, Luke sucked in that movie. He sucked. It's like, dude, you have a guy who like well, okay, what did he do this entire time then? He started to try and like revive the Jedi. He fails. And then he just closes himself off and pusses out. I'm like, dude, that's never been Luke Skywalker. Ever.
Yeah.
And then you have him like, you have the redemption briefly to like you, and then you have this whole thing where he won't train Rey, and he's doing his thing. And you get like these moments where he's like kind of connecting back to the Force again, and then he lightsaber fights her and she pulls a lightsaber. I'm like, dude, like Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi would have had no problem. Like, this amateur Force user should have no chance against a Master Jedi. A Master Jedi. He's not a Jedi Knight. He's a Master Jedi. And then you have him redeem himself at the end, kind of. He's got this awesome scene where he's meditating, and then he just rolls over and dies? That makes no sense. Why would he just give up on everybody like that?
Yeah.
It's weird because they explicitly tied him to Obi-Wan in A New Hope. Like,
yeah.
They played the hologram of like, help me, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, they did. They pushed out the hologram.
Which immediately makes you think of like, oh yeah, okay, Luke is acting a lot like Obi-Wan. He's just like kind of hiding.
He's a
like
hermit and stuff.
But see, Obi-Wan
was eager to train Luke.
When Luke shows up, he's like, all right, let's do this.
He's like, it's time.
Let's go.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, okay,
and Luke was just like, nope, I'm good.
Obi-Wan and Yoda fail way harder than Luke Skywalker. When they let Darth Vader rise and kill everybody, they fail way harder. And did they give up? No.
Yeah.
Yoda kind of does, but Obi-Wan goes to watch over Luke Skywalker. We see at the end of episode 3, and when Luke Skywalker's ready, Obi-Wan is ready to go help and like be a badass, and then like surrender to the Force because he can't win against Darth Vader. And then you have, and he sends him to Dagobah, and then Yoda's ready to train him. Instead, he's like, screw you, Rey. Like, no, I will not do this. I've seen this before, this uncontrolled rage. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's not Luke Skywalker, man.
Yeah, you even thought he was going to die like Obi-Wan. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen. He was just...
Gonna turn into a cloak?
I mean, again, they're trying too hard to fake you out. Because he closes the lightsaber, and you're like, okay... He's going to turn around. He's going to be just the pile of clothes. Nope. Fake out. He's really on the island still.
Psych!
Another fake out. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead anyway.
Yeah.
Crap, what was I going to say about it?
Was it better than The Force Awakens?
No.
I liked it better than The Force Awakens because I felt like it had some more payoff. Where The Force Awakens, I felt like one of the things I hated the most about Force Awakens, despite the fact that like it undid everything in the original trilogy.
It's a big one, Sam.
That's a big one. The thing I hate the most about it is the whole movie, all the tension is around where's Luke Skywalker, and then you finally see him in one scene, and there's just no payoff. I felt like they just strung me along the whole time, and I felt like I got screwed after I saw that movie. Like, I did not enjoy it.
Okay, before we get to that, I just want to add that the last thing that really bothered me about Luke Skywalker is, like, he's a child. In this movie, he's a child. That he's like, I will not do it. And then they're like, she's like,
nothing you can say can convince me.
Yeah, nothing you say can convince me. And it's like, help me out. You're my only hope. He's like, okay, cheap move. I'll help. And I'm like, what? Really?
But he didn't help after that.
No,
Not
he
really,
still
he
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah. It was like he never helped until
Until Yoda showed up.
Yeah, until Yoda showed up, yeah.
And burned a tree.
And burned the tree down, yeah. It was like...
Well, no, he did. He started her lessons or something, and then she like, he's like, you didn't even fight the dark or something.
But
and then he
were
kinda,
his
like,
lessons
doesn't help
ever
again.
meant to train her? Or because he kind of said that the only reason he was doing the lessons is like, I'm going to give you 3 lessons, and then you'll know why the Jedi has to end.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't even see all 3 lessons.
Right, he only got to 2.
He only got to 2. So it was like, what the hell? The first one was when she sat on the rock, right?
Yeah, that was the only one they
like
did.
Reach out
They
and
didn't-
reach out.
they didn't do
like the
another
force is
lesson.
the energy.
And then
the second lesson
what was the...
There is no second one.
Yeah, there
I
was
think-
a second one.
I don't remember the second one now. Yeah, I don't know what the second one
No,
was.
she goes into that dark pit of despair,
That was
and then
on
she
her
starts
own.
making contact, and then he
With-
comes in
with
and sees her
Kylo.
talking to Kylo.
Yeah, you're
the
right.
Force,
He only gave
and
her
then
one
He
lesson.
blows the top off of it. They have a sword fight. She gets a lightsaber. He pusses out.
I
And then
feel
she
like I remember him
bounces.
saying that's the second lesson. I don't remember what it was, but I feel like he said that. But
Maybe it was
I
lesson
could
1
be
and
wrong.
2 put together.
Either way,
They
I
gave
know
her
he didn't
lesson
get
1
to
and
the
2
third.
right away. But they definitely didn't get to the
Even
third.
so, 3 lessons isn't enough to train a Jedi anyway. So his intention was never to actually train her to be a Jedi.
Right, no, he was not going to. Which I'm fine with. But they should have at least made Luke help like sooner and not been like, you know,
I give it
so regressed.
I give it more credit than I gave Force Awakens. The Force Awakens played it so safe that it was kind of ridiculous. They at least like took some chances in this movie, even if they didn't really pay off or work out all that well. I thought they tried to go somewhere. They just didn't really get anywhere.
Literally, they did not go very far. Like, the whole movie's them like running out of fuel.
Even with the scene in the beginning with the B-1 bombers, I'm like, wait, since I even thought, why are those B-1 bombers moving so slow?
Yeah.
Like, if you watch in Return of the Jedi, there's B-1 bombers and they're like flying around everywhere.
They're the
like,
Y bombers.
The-
I had a
yeah,
lot
the
of
Y
hope.
bombers, that's
I had
what
a
I
lot
meant.
of hope because
I don't know why I call them
thought
B-1.
the first scene was pretty cool. Like, I thought it was fine.
It got my expectations up a little bit.
Yeah,
I'll
my
admit.
expectations.
Yeah,
All right, this is kind of cool.
And then
Yeah,
we
it
get
was
to Rey and
cool.
Luke, And then he takes the lightsaber and throws it over his shoulder. It's like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
Like, funny scene.
yeah.
I'm like, really?
And I'm like, yeah, because it's like, wait, all that tension, like you spent an hour and a half movie to lead up to that moment, and the payoff
cliffhanger.
we get is he chucks the lightsaber off the cliff and laughs at her.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if he laughed at her.
He
He didn't laugh at her. He just chucked it and walked away. You're just like, okay. Like, you would have thought, like, I would have given, like, some more of a reaction, like, okay, how did she find me here? Who is this person?
Luke was pretty boring. Minus the last scene.
Yeah.
You know, he was kind of boring for most of the movie. Not really doing anything.
That's the biggest problem. They didn't have him do much throughout most of this film, you know?
And I was really hoping, but I knew it would never happen. I was really hoping that Rey and Kylo would switch roles. That I thought would have been cool if Rey was all of a sudden like the Sith Lord. But I never thought that was going to happen. That was the problem.
That would have been cool if they switched. So Rey goes bad and Kylo goes good.
Yeah.
But I thought, man, what a
That
coincidence that it
would be
worked
cool.
out where they're like, well, where did Luke come from? There must be a way out. And we find it's a hologram that apparated.
Yeah, and it was a hologram
To
the whole
buy
time.
time.
Yeah.
They followed the salt dogs.
Yeah.
Crystal dogs.
The crystal dogs. And like overall, like I think I did like it better than Force Awakens. But who knows, my opinion could change drastically in the next 6 months to 2 years. I'm sure by the end of 2 years I will absolutely loathe everything about this movie. Because that's kind of what happened after Force Awakens. As time went on, I just started hating that movie more and more as I understood the consequences of, you know, of what they did to all those characters.
No, I mean, I liked The Force Awakens better than this movie. I distinctly remember leaving The Force Awakens, and one of the first things you said to me, and I agreed, was, well, I liked more stuff than I didn't like. And it took me a while to really realize how I really felt about this movie. But like this movie, coming out of it, I'm clearly like, I'm like upset with what they did with like one of my like heroes, like Luke Skywalker. There's like story arc in the first one, even though it was super safe. There's a New Hope, you know, soft reboot. But like at least like Rey was like relatable. She's like desert planet, like just trying to cut out a living. There was like a logical progression.
Yeah, that's true. There was some struggle with Rey in the
all
first
over
one.
the place. Random people introduced, and it really bothers me when you have somebody like Finn, who's like a glorified janitor, who's on like in episode 7, he's on like a death squad with Kylo Ren. I'm like, dude, why would anybody who's like not like the most hardened killer be on this with this guy? Why would they grab some dude who's mopped the floor? Like, that's dumb. And
yeah,
then
that whole
he hooks up with
thing.
this chick who does the pipe maintenance, and they're like, we're gonna infiltrate Snoke's ship. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's got some pretty terrible security. Like, the richest planet in the galaxy or whatever.
And they just drop in there.
Show up.
Yeah.
No problem. Oh, here's this Master Codebreaker. Cool name, dude.
Yeah, Master Codebreaker.
Oh, man. What happened to him anyway? He just kind of like walked
much
up.
money?
Did
He
die
just
in
got
that?
away.
He's
No, I
out.
think he got away. He just took off with all his money. He was like gone.
I'm like, why
I guess
did
we
they
know who the
pay
real winner
Yeah.
Why
is.
did they pay him for that? Why didn't they just torture him? Like,
Yeah,
they
seriously.
got their
Like,
info, kill him. Like, aren't you supposed to be the bad guys? Come on. Why would you pay
He's
him?
definitely
Yeah.
not going to betray you guys.
Yeah, like, and he's a master. Like, the guy like broke their, like, dude, that's useful. Why would you?
Probably not someone
let
you
him
want
go?
to just be out there. He even said in front of them, right? Like, I serve good now. I serve bad. Maybe I'll serve good again.
yeah,
He
seriously.
like said it right in front
Yeah,
of them.
he told him that straight up. So, like, why would they be at all shocked that he, like,
They're just
betrayed
"Oh,
him?
That's fine.
Yeah, they're like, all
Here's your
right,
money.
it's all good.
See you later.
Just like we agreed to.
Now
somehow, within the last 15 seconds.
Let's
Yeah.
have a James Bond style execution of these two people where it takes way
Oh,
too long.
no,
and
it's
they
true.
kill him.
It was the ultimate 1, 1.5.
Dude,
Yeah,
And
it was like the whole like
2
wait,
3/4.
we can't just blast them. We need some sharks with lasers to kill them. You know.
On my command.
Well, and that's the other thing.
Wait.
Dude, things are too rhythmic. Like all of a sudden, like these two people, stormtroopers show up, and now they're checkered stormtroopers with like a checkered mask.
Oh,
And then they're like walking up all slow, like strutting in sync and stuff. I'm like, that just looks so ballet.
before I forget, don't be a fat white guy that pilots any aircraft in
you're
Star Wars.
gonna die.
Because you're gonna die immediately. Did you notice that
yeah.
guy in the first fight? He was like
Yeah.
the first person to die.
And that's been consistent through all the films. Like the original trilogy too, they always killed the fat white guys.
I think George is just killing the part of himself he hates most.
Must be.
One overweight white guy. No. Man. Oh, well, I mean, I'm glad I saw the movie. I think my biggest indictment on the movie is I don't really have a desire to see it again anytime soon. I'm sure I'll watch it again, but I wouldn't be like excited to watch it again.
Yeah, same. I don't know. Like
There were only a few parts that I really, really enjoyed.
There's nothing classic or timeless about that movie.
I mean, I would like to see that Snoke death scene again. I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah.
But besides that, I mean, there weren't too many moments that really floored me.
Still
All right.
don't know who he was.
I think we'll wrap it up then, guys.
Yeah.
That was it. That's our review of The Last Jedi.